Our Community Service Excellence project focuses on Wise County, Texas, a rural county with a population of 83,778 people. County Health Rankings identifies motor vehicle accident injury deaths as a major community health concern. From 2017 to 2023, Wise County had motor vehicle death rates of 24.6 deaths per 100,000 people, compared with the U.S. benchmark of 13.8 per 100,000. During this period, 123 people died in the motor vehicle crashes. Rural roads, higher speed limits, longer emergency response times, and risk factors such as speeding, impaired driving, distracted drivers, and not wearing seatbelts all contributed to the county's higher traffic fatalities.
So some of the community resources that we can use to help prevent motor vehicle accidents. So first off, we're going to want to start with education. So we can go through the Wise County School District and help teach kids about safe driving, ways to avoid getting into accidents like driving impaired. We can also teach them safety like wearing seatbelts to help prevent fatalities in car accidents. Um, if that doesn't work, then we can also go to enforcement. So we can use the Wise County Police Department. The Wise County Police Department can enforce speeding laws that can help reduce the amount of accidents and also the fatalities involved in those accidents. And then if that doesn't work, we can always go to the Wise County Health System like Medical City Decatur. And Medical City Decatur can help treat the trauma victims from those accidents and hopefully save the lives of the victims.
Hello. So today I will be talking about interventions or activities that will be implemented in Wise County to help lessen the deaths associated with motor vehicle accidents. So to start things off, our high school population, or otherwise known as adolescents, are our population that are most at risk to causing motor vehicle accidents. And that could be for any sort of reason, whether they don't have a license or maybe they were taught the wrong way, so any of the habits that they potentially have that are formed are inappropriate and could cause harm to themselves or other people, or they just don't know the rules and the laws of the road. So in Wise County, this is especially important because a lot of their roads are very country. So there's not much lighting. Maybe they're not familiar with it. So that could cause anybody who's a new driver, which are usually the adolescent population, at an increased risk for motor vehicle accidents that could possibly result in death. So, a program that I would like to introduce is called the Graduated Driver's License Program. This is a multi step program that's going to progress this new driver into getting their license. So, there's two phases whenever it comes to this program, and the first phase is called the learner license. You can start at the age of 15, but you must be under 18. So, this program is especially important in high school because you enter in high school at the age of 14 or 15. So, if you're thinking about getting a license, this is perfect age that you can even start getting a license. And you must hold it for at least 6 months. So, during these 6 months, you must be with a parent. So, that's very important because in any case, this driver who only has a phase one were to be pulled over and be suspended because they don't have a parent or breaking the law, things like that, this would cause that their 6 month period that they originally have to extend depending on what type of warning ticket that they got. And that's important because we want to prevent our drivers from causing horrible accidents or any harm to themselves or other people. So after this 6 month period, or longer depending on if you got some sort of suspension, you would then move to phase two, which is at least 16 years of age. At this 16 years of age, you must have your state approved driver education course, which is a lecture and a behind the wheel course. So that course could be offered at the high school. And that is especially important because that means that you're able to get your license at your high school. So it's not like you're having to go to a completely different location or having to search up what other driving education course that you can take outside of your school. This is all together. And especially in this population, maybe they don't want to do all that. This is just easier. If they can be able to offer this throughout the high school, they have a more chance of doing that. And then Impact Texas Teen Driver Program. which is only a 2-hour course. You can take that online, and those two will help you get your provisional license. And that's what will be under that, right? So with this one, you do have some rules whenever it comes to that. The phase 1, you must be completely with a parent. This phase 2, you can be without a parent, but you are prohibited to drive between only midnight and 5 a.m. except, under the exception, it's for any work, school, or emergency related reasons. Other than that, you cannot be driving between those times. And as I mentioned earlier, Wise County is a very dark and the roads are very narrow. So if we are able to avoid the younger population from driving those roads at a dark time where there's not any sunlight around, that can prevent motor vehicle accidents. So number 2, there cannot be more than one passenger that is under the age of 21 years old unless it's family. So that's especially great, and especially our adolescent population whenever it comes to any school events, prom, games, things like that. I mean, now that they know that they can't have any more than one passenger, that can prohibit them from having so many people in one car. And we want that to be a thing in this population because they are more susceptible to being distracted. Distracted driving doesn't just have to be yourself in the car by yourself. You can be distracted by having other people in the car. What if they're trying to show you something? Now you want to look, you want to be involved, but you're driving, you're going to get in an accident. So having this cut down to only one other person that is over the age of 21 can help you a lot, especially because hopefully the 21-year-old is licensed. Okay, and then they can have no wireless communication devices used at any time during this provisional license phase, and that includes hands-free, so CarPlay. So if you're driving and you're getting distracted because you're trying to change the music, trying to text someone off of like your CarPlay or anything, that's not allowed. So getting pulled over for any of these things can suspend your license. So that's especially important in this population as well. So implementing this year-round can help tremendously, either at the beginning of the year, because that's whenever football games starts. Football games are every Friday. They're going to want to go to that or anything else. And then especially winter break or summer break right before, that's also going on. Prom is in the spring season. So there's always an event that's going to happen throughout the school year that requires somebody to drive or their parent to drive them. They're going to go with a friend, things like that. So if we were to able to implement this program year-round, it can help our drivers be a lot safer. And we want to make sure that they also use safe body mechanics. This doesn't have to be exactly through this program, like paying money or anything. This can be something where you can just hang up a poster around school or make sure that teachers go like a little bit over it, because body mechanics are important whenever you get into an accident, that it doesn't cause as great injury or it stops yourself from getting into an accident, either or, okay? So over reclining your seat is a big one. I have seen that a lot throughout high school. I actually had a friend that over reclined way too much, and I would not get in the car with him because of that. That's a big no, okay? Also, driving with one arm is not okay, because in any situation where you need to like do whatever, let's say it's an emergency situation, if you only have one arm in the wheel, what makes you think that your reaction time is going to be as fast enough? If you were to have two, you would have two things to do at once. You never know what happens. And then stretching to reach the pedals is not okay. I get it. A lot of people don't want to be like a grandma, all of like this, driving like that. But if you can't reach the pedals, how else are you going to be good at driving? And also the headrest, it needs to be in the middle of the back of your head instead of your neck. If it's all the way down here, what support does that give you? Okay.
Hi, I'm going to talk about who would benefit from this intervention and describe the target population. The population that would benefit most from this intervention include children who ride as passengers, adolescents, adults, older adults, and individuals living in rural areas. Motor vehicle accidents can affect anyone, but certain groups are at higher risk because of age, driving experience, road conditions, and access to resources after a crash. Now, our main focus is on individuals ages 16 and older, both male and female, because this includes new drivers, working adults, and older adults who may have increased risk while driving. Adolescents and young adults are at higher risk because they have less driving experience and they're more likely to participate in risky behaviors such as distracted driving, speeding, or even just not wearing a seatbelt. Older adults are also an important population because of changes in vision, reaction time, and even overall physical health, which can increase their risk of serious injury if they're involved in a crash. Now, Wise County is a rural community where many residents depend on their personal vehicles every day. And because public transportation options are pretty non-existent here, people often have to drive longer distances for work, school, healthcare, and really just daily activities overall. That increased time on the road can raise the risk of being involved in a motor vehicle accident. Another concern in rural communities like Wise County, which has a lot of high-speed roads and highways, is that emergency response and access to trauma care can take longer compared to the larger cities. And after a serious crash, the amount of time that it takes to receive medical care can really impact a person's outcome. Other risk factors that contribute to motor vehicle injuries include distracted driving, impaired driving, speeding, fatigue, and failure to use seatbelts or proper child restraints. Social economic factors can also play a role because some individuals may have limited access to newer, safer vehicles, maintenance for their vehicles, or even just healthcare resources after an injury. Now, this issue is important because motor vehicle crashes can have a lasting impact not only on the individual, but also on their families and the entire community. As nurses, it's our job to focus on prevention, education, and safety awareness, which allows us to be advocates for healthier and safer communities.
Hello, I'm Crystal. I'm going to be going over how funding can be obtained for helping with motor vehicle accidents that are caused or that have death and injury involved, or to help with safety with motor vehicle accidents. What can help with getting grants and stuff like that to better fix the roads, or to get programs for teenagers for them to drive safer and things like that. One of the grants that could be received is the NSC grant. It's a National Safety Council. Is one of the leading nonprofit safety advocates that dedicated to eliminating the leading causes of death and injury that's preventable with focusing on roadway safety. Its Road to Zero community traffic safety grants help fund innovative and effective safety programs that support solutions with improving safety on the roadway. It helps save lives and provide lessons that could be applied across the country. Another one that could be received is a local or state government funding. It's a traffic safety e-grant through TXDOT. It's a process that includes identifying a traffic safety problem, collecting and analyzing data, deciding if the problem is serious enough to need action taken, investigating possible ways to help correct actions and putting those solutions found into place. A community assessment also helps strengthen data that's related to crashes by identifying any available or missing resources from the community, community attitudes, gaps, duplications, and possible solutions that make it possible to make a plan of action. Another community fundraising that could possibly be found could be through the Decatur Junior Women's Club. They raise money for the Wise County community by hosting events to raise money to put back into the community. Some top sponsors that are supported or that support the Decatur Junior Women's Club are Carl Clement Ford, Decatur Heat and Air Incorporated, and James Woods.
One innovative way to raise awareness and reduce deaths due to accidents is launching a community-wide awareness campaign to reduce premature deaths in Wise County from automobile accidents. A county-wide awareness campaign can help reduce preventable deaths by educating residents and encouraging community involvement. Regular community events can provide educational information, family-friendly activities, and opportunities for people to connect with their neighbors in a fun, entertaining, and affordable setting. Smaller events could be held each month in different areas of the county, while larger events would take place every 3 months in various communities. Holding events throughout the different areas of the county allows more residents to participate close to where they live. Those neighborhood events can also encourage volunteerism and community pride. Representatives from the local groups and neighborhood events regarding this safety initiative can then be invited to attend an annual benefit charity gala. This event would recognize volunteers and organizations that have made a positive impact on safety and wellness in Wise County. The annual benefit charity gala would serve 2 important purposes. First, it would raise funds from corporate sponsors, grants, and neighborhood fundraising activities to support future awareness and accident prevention programs. Secondly, it would honor community members, organizations, and leaders who have provided outstanding service to the citizens of Wise County in their public awareness campaign. These outstanding individuals could be recognized as hometown heroes for their efforts to improve community safety. By keeping residents engaged, the public awareness campaign should focus on specific areas that contribute to preventable deaths. Key focus areas could include child car seat safety, vehicle accident prevention, impaired driving education, and senior citizen safety driving programs. Each focus area could be highlighted during a specific month or quarter of the year through educational programs, community activities, and public outreach. The year's efforts would conclude with the annual benefit gala, where community leaders would recognize the groups and volunteers who made the greatest contribution to improving safety and preventing injuries and deaths throughout Wise County. Premature deaths due to accident are largely preventable. The Wise Choices Save Lives campaigns seeks to unite healthcare providers, schools, public safety agencies, faith communities, and residents to increase awareness, promote safe behavior, and connect individuals with life-saving resources they need. Through education, partnership, and community education, Wise County can work toward reducing preventable injury-related deaths and improving the health and safety of all residents. This innovative initiative would be groundbreaking in its scope and would bring all parts of Wise County together for the betterment of all of its citizens.
Hello, my name is Marco. I just want to talk about how important it is to actually practice safe driving. As someone who lives in Wise County, specifically in Bridgeport, I commute from Bridgeport to Weatherford every day for school. And to get there, I usually take the back roads or the farm to market roads. And personally, I've seen people drive way too fast on those roads, passing on double yellow lines. They're going 80 miles an hour on curves, and because of that, I always try to be extra careful when I'm driving. And it's not just other drivers that I'm looking out for. The deer there are pretty bad on the road, which cause, serious accidents also. And at the end of the day, just getting somewhere a few minutes faster isn't worth risking your life or someone else's. And we all have the responsibility to make choices behind the wheel by slowing down, wearing our seatbelt, avoiding distractions, and never driving impaired. Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to watch our presentation. We hope this project has increased your awareness of the impact motor vehicle accidents have in Wise County and the importance of safety driving habits. By working together through the education, community involvement, and preventive efforts, we can help reduce preventable injuries and save lives. Thank you.